What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Spectators. The NFL playoffs are around the corner, and we got some guys in the playoffs in this group right here. It is episode 169. I'm here at Brooklyn and Gerard. What's up, boys? How we doing?
What up,
Yo, yo,
boys?
yo, I am not one of the guys in the playoffs, so I'm sad.
He is.
That's
He
What's
is.
unfortunate.
that?
He is sad after weeks of both the Vikings and the Jets getting dubs. The train stops here. The train stops here. G, you remember the quick minute where people were trying to preach to us that the AFC East was the best division in football?
If for the 5 weeks it was,
Yeah, I want that out of every conversation ever. Get that nonsense out of my face because holy, do we have some teams that end the year like a poo-poo in that division?
It's
where
crazy
do-
though
where-
because I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I said it's crazy just because like 4 weeks ago, all 4 teams in our division were playoff bound. Like if it ended that day,
Yeah.
and now
Wild.
not only one of them is only us are the only lock right now.
Yeah, and the only reason that a team not named the Bills won the last 2-3 weeks is because they played each other. It's just the Patriots have played the Jets and have played the Dolphins, so they had to win de facto. That's the only reason. So,
Insane. Shout out
It's-
the Steelers though.
dude, shout out to the Steelers. We all saw the TikTok, but the Mike Tomlin is inevitable. Dude, this roster for the Steelers is like objectively not great, especially on the offensive end. Their O-line's not great. Their offensive scheme is like abysmal because like they have a great wide receiver in George Pickens that doesn't drop passes. And they're like, yeah, we're just not gonna throw it to him. Trubisky sucks. Kenny Pickett's like maybe a decent player. He actually looked pretty good last night at times. And yet here they are again at 8-8 because they just don't let people score on them because TJ Watt's a beast and Minka Fitzpatrick's a
Hayward.
dog and Miles Jack's there. Like the defense is actually loaded. And I guess 16 points is all it takes to beat the Ravens. I mean, it was Tyler Huntley. It's like whatever, but
Crazy thing is if the Steelers win next week, they're in.
are they the 7 seed if they win?
They're the 7 seed. I think because we play the Patriots next week, and assuming that we beat the Bengals today, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but if
Yeah.
it does, that means we don't have the number 1 seed locked at all yet. We have to go and we have to win again against New England. So like assuming that's how it plays out, we have to go and beat the Bengals. I mean, not the Bengals. Bengals tonight, Patriots next week. So that means the Patriots will be out. The Dolphins will play the Jets, I think next week, right?
We could just assume that they're gonna win.
The Dolphins. Well, if the Dolphins win, then
I'm not assuming a thing if Tua's not playing.
Yeah, Tua might not play, so y'all might. And like I can tell, Salah's the type of coach to be like, you know what, let's get momentum for next season. So y'all gonna come out blazing. So the Steelers could very well be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's very gross. I'm not gonna lie to you. That team is not good. They are. If there's ever a team that I've looked at and you're like, yeah, they're not winning a playoff game, it's the 2022 Pittsburgh Steelers. But I mean, they're probably better coached than like half the teams in the playoffs, so that means something.
Yeah, if we lose,
They're
today,
hot
I'm
right
Steelers
now.
fan. Yeah, if we lose today, I'm a Steelers fan for the rest of the way because I want them in round 1. So actually, no,
Yeah.
that happen because if
Well, you don't want them in round 1 if you got to buy.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm saying like I'd rather have the bye, but if we lose today, we don't get the bye.
You'll
I'm
have
all
them
for
in
it.
one run.
No,
Or
actually,
you'll have-
we won't. We won't. We'll have the Ravens because we'll drop to the 3 seed.
No, as of right now, you guys would be the 2. If you lose tonight and win next week,
Well,
you guys
that's
are-
Brooke. That's
No,
only
'cause the
that's
Bengals-
only because them and the Bengals haven't played yet. If the Bengals win today, the Bengals jump them.
Yeah, we'll have the same record, and they have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at like I got a whole playoff machine thing going on right now, and if the Bengals win and you guys win next week, you guys are still the 2 seed. If you guys lose
I don't believe that.
tonight
I don't
and
believe
next
you.
week, if you guys lose
I don't
tonight
believe
and
you.
next week, then the Bengals are the 2 and you guys are the 3.
But how?
I don't believe you, but
I'm looking at it right here. This is off of ESPN. This is off of ESPN. I'm looking at it right
they're
now.
a bunch of liars and deceivers. I just did the
Ben-
same thing. You're wrong. You're actually
How?
wrong. I just did the Chiefs winning, the Bills winning, and the Bengals winning. The Bengals are the 2 seed. You have to do the other teams to win also, brother. You got to get the context.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I was
G,
like-
we're right. You got it. You're right. Yeah.
I was like, the
you're
math ain't math.
No, you're right. You're right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. So yeah, you guys would probably play Baltimore then, and that's definitely not the matchup you want when the Dolphins or the Steelers are on the line. But I mean, dude, that's the way
Yeah.
the playoffs go, man. It's
Yeah.
No matter what, once it gets playoff time, it could
It
get
really don't.
spicy.
It really don't matter.
It can get spicy either which way.
and I mean, like, look at
So-
if you're talking spicy, look at this probable 5 versus 4 matchup we're about to get. The Chargers and Jacksonville. Both teams are super hot right now. The Chargers are getting
Yeah.
healthy. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the best quarterback in football over the last month and a half.
Dude, T's here. He finally.
He's
arrived.
here. He's here. It took a little bit. There was an adjustment, but you still saw the arm strength and everything. And
The
that could be a really
accuracy.
fun game for 2 quarterbacks of the future. And it's like, all right, look at this. This is kind of sick.
It's crazy when you give a young player a chance to develop. What happens?
Two
Yes
top 10
and no.
quarterbacks.
Yes and no, because has there ever been a time, like maybe outside of Josh Allen, I can't speak on what his second year looked like, that like a quarterback that started consistently in his like 3rd year made a jump? Like that doesn't happen.
No, we made the playoffs our second year. No, we didn't. We made it our first year, and then we missed our second year, and then I'm sorry. Yeah, Josh missed his first year, made the second, third, fourth.
Okay, so even in his second year, he made a significant jump. Like, there's no significant jumps that happen after year 3. You are who you are at some point, and so it was nice to see Trevor kind of make that and become who he is, and because it was very easy for him to not is where I'm getting at, right?
Yeah,
Especially with Jacksonville. He
Well,
could've
and
went
like
died.
the Urban Meyer situation, like it was so easy to just like fall
Yeah.
over and just be like, man, is this how the NFL is? And get cooked.
No.
So.
don't forget he gets Calvin Ridley next year too.
He does get Calvin Ridley next year. And like the team as a whole just has like an improvement vibe now. They're like, hey, we're not just bad anymore. Like you saw it the second half of the year. They're like, wait, we're like a competitive football team. And we feel like they are. And they were competitive for most of the year. They had like a losing streak, but outside of that, they were competitive. And
It's
I
just
think-
their defense is a little suspect. That's like the only, not outside of like Josh Allen and like I forget one of their D linemen. Like
They're I don't remember his name. The issue with their defense is like hard to know who they are because it's like the least sexy names ever. Like they have the second best Josh Allen in the league. Like, what are you supposed to do? One of their DBs is really, really good. And I just do not remember his name. I think he's a rookie. He's a stud. I couldn't tell you his name, and I just like watched their defense. I'm like, damn. So just like wide receiver 1's kind of locked up this game. Okay. So yeah,
Also,
fun.
shout out Christian Kirk.
Shout out Christian Kirk earning his money. A lot of people called him a fluke.
Yeah, he's
Or
balling.
not a
out this
fluke.
year.
They're like, why'd you make that money? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? You guys see the interview with Tyreek a couple weeks ago where like he called Christian Kirk the best wide receiver in football, and it was like, okay.
I was like, shut up.
I'm never
Well,
gonna tell like another wide receiver he's just like wrong. Like, sure.
Yeah,
Like you know better than me, I guess, but I'm looking at some film and I don't believe you. But
definitely situation based. So
yeah. Where you are and everything like that for sure. Looking at the AFC though, because pretty much every one of the and we're talking about Jacksonville, but Jacksonville could very easily not make the playoffs. If they lose
Yeah.
next week, they're out. They don't make
if they lose to Josh Dobbs, I mean, it's like this the Jacksonville way. I see it happening. I seen the Titans somehow managing to squeak their way in because like last year they managed to squeak their way to the 1 seed. They did not deserve that 1 seed, but by the grace of God they made it. So watch, by the grace of God they're going to be in the playoffs and they're going to be the 4 seed. And someone's going to have to go to Tennessee
and have a bad time. That Tennessee defense is so good. They're so good. And they can't score. And like Tannehill's like been hurt this year. And Derrick Henry's had an up and down season. They have like issues, right? They don't have a wide receiver that's like any sort of decent besides Traylon Burks, and he doesn't play. So it's like they have a lot of issues. But when you have a good defense in the playoffs, it's like scary. They have a really, really good defense.
they're super physical. That's what like they just play like hard-nosed football. Like that's like so cliche, but like they play
it's pretty
legit
true.
hard-nosed football.
You need it.
It's super
need it.
cliche though. I'm trying to see if there's a way for Jacksonville to make the playoffs and not win this game. And it seems like there is. Shout out to the playoff machine. That's just lit.
It's really sick.
If
I learned about it last night.
So if Jacksonville loses, the Miami Dolphins lose, which I don't think they will either. I think the Dolphins win this game. The Patriots lose, and the Steelers all lose. Jacksonville still gets in.
Is it like some like weird like tiebreaker?
They're the best of the 8 and 9 teams at that point.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
what winds up happening. They'd be 8 and 9 and slip in there. So that's pretty cool to see. And then you'd have 2 8 and 9 playoff teams in the AFC, which is pretty gross, but it's how it goes.
It's so top heavy.
Yeah, and by top heavy, it's like the 3 teams. Yeah, there's 3 teams that you're like looking at. Oh, everybody else, do you have a chance? I don't know, probably not.
Like, could you knock
Probably
one
not.
of those teams off? Yeah, like but there's no way y'all are knocking all
All
three.
3. Like if you're the 7 or the 6 seed, right? And you have to start your playoffs against either the Bengals or the Bills, then you win that, and then you have to play the Chiefs, and then you win that, and then you have to play the Bills. It's like, Jesus. And then you get to the Super Bowl, and now you're playing the 49ers or the Eagles or the Cowboys or Vikings. You're like, Jesus.
Like, God damn.
Like, if that
Yeah,
happens,
like-
if one of those teams do that and make that run and win it, it's probably the best run ever in terms of teams they played and quarterbacks they've played. Like, that's probably
I'm
the
not
best
mad at
run
that.
ever.
Yeah.
Like,
not
so
mad at
so
that.
think about it. So say whatever. We'll go with the Ravens, right? Say the Ravens,
Yeah.
Lamar has a crazy run. That means he would have probably taken out either like Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes.
It would be all 3, or in the
You
first
had to
round.
pick
Yeah,
up-
in the first
yeah.
round. In the first
Second
round.
round, you have to take out one of the remaining 2, and the AFC Championship, you have to take out the last one, and then that's 3 MVP candidates you just took out,
Yeah.
and then like just based off record, the Eagles go.
Yeah.
That's you took out the top 4 MVP candidates to win a Super Bowl
In a row. Yeah. In a row.
in a row.
From the
Or
former
just end up-
MVP. Shout out Lamar. Shout out
So
Lamar.
this is how you get it done, boys.
That's how you
what,
get it
what a
done.
wait for him to get his money.
There's no better way to beat I can't perform in the playoff allegations.
Yeah, he just needs
There's
someone
none?
to throw the ball to. That's the unfortunate thing. There's only Mark.
It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
Just double team. If you double Mark, you win.
Just yeah. I mean, who knows, man? The Ravens are such an odd group.
Their defense is
I
really
never
good.
I never
They
fully
really are
understand them. So moving to the NFC though. NFC was a weird week. The best game maybe of the year turns out to be Brock Purdy, not of the year actually, but like one of the better games of the year is Brock Purdy and Stidham going at it. He first of all, he looked fantastic. I don't know what that was
That
about.
looked really good.
I think that was one of when a backup is like ready, because you know how like there's the very cliche thing where it's like always be ready for your number to get called. I think that's like a very serious thing for quarterbacks specifically. Every other position you can kind of get into it because it's just like an athletic position. But like quarterbacks, like knowing situations and like having the book in mind and knowing what plays you'd probably use. Then you get into a game and you're just like, all right, bet, let's ride. He was clearly ready for this game and he played really, really well and almost beats the 49ers, who I still think I've been thinking over the last couple of weeks that they're the best team in football and they've won like 9 straight now.
Yeah.
And they took them to OT. And really, they should have won this game, but the Raiders are going to Raider and lose leads.
Yeah. It's
Which-
just crazy because it's like that's how it is whenever you like have a quarterback that comes in. There's no film.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how to prepare for him. So like there's literally
Exactly.
no expectations. So you just go out and just play you. They're not going to know what to do to stop you.
Yeah.
They don't know your tendencies like that. I mean, they might, but that was however many years ago he played football.
And I mean, I think that was his first start ever. So it's not like it's not like there's much film. There's like
Exactly.
quarters of film. There's like 7 quarters, and like that's what you got.
It's like good luck.
And like some of them with
Yeah.
the Eagles, it's like so. But I mean, that was one of the best games, and it showed a lot because Brock Purdy's like legitimately good, and like the fact that Brock Purdy might be the third best quarterback in the NFC playoffs right now is like kind of disgusting.
I hate that.
And I mean, maybe it's an over exaggeration. It's only been a couple of weeks. Like we said, there's not like a whole lot of film.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think a lot of it is like what he's doing, but at the same time, you're playing in the best offensive scheme in football outside of like Kansas City. You have weapons everywhere. Ayuk, McCaffrey, Debo, like, jeez. And he's throwing at a 60+% clip. I think he's at 66% completion percentage. He's not throwing many picks. He's only throwing like 4.
He's just not making those mistakes that you would expect.
A guy who hasn't played, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's like it's hard to beat them because
Yeah.
all you have to do just give the ball to their talented players and let them do work.
And the only
defense
thing
is
that
gonna hold
the
up.
49ers offense asks of you to do is don't turn the ball over and like make correct throws. Like
Yeah,
when
hit
you
your
have
guys.
when you have to throw it, make a correct throw. Don't make a 30-yard bomb. We don't need that. We're not sending Ayuk on bomb plays. We're making gadgets to get guys open to make it easy on you. And that's like clearly how it's working. And when you have a defense as good as San Francisco's, you got. I mean,
Yeah, because with the
Bosa's
playmakers
probably gonna
they
win
got-
Defensive Player of the Year. I haven't like looked at defensive guy stats, but it's probably gonna be him.
Or Micah, one of those.
It's
two.
it's Parsons or Bosa most likely. People probably wind up going with Parsons because he's on the Cowboys, but Bosa's been insane this year.
Absolutely
yeah,
insane.
but especially with the offense, like all you gotta do is just hit your check down, hit somebody crossing, and with the playmakers you got, they're gonna do something. So, like you said, don't go make that 30-yard pass and try to make it into triple coverage, and now you guys are turning the ball over.
But it's nice, like
dude.
having a quarterback that can't make those throws because, like, when you do have a quarterback that can make those throws, like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes,
They kind of
Burrow,
want to.
They like, like I see this tight window that like I know I can hit. There's like a 5% chance I can hit it, but the fact that I have a chance to hit it, I'm gonna throw it and it's intercepted. So you don't have anyone like he's not going in there like, oh, I can make this 60-yard bomb, no problem. So he's like, I'm not gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw the easy ones, which is something I wish.
And there's a
Josh
time and
Allen
place.
learned.
I was gonna say that's the most Josh Allen statement I've ever heard. He has so much
Yeah.
talent that sometimes he's just like, "Let's ride," and then he throws like the worst ball ever. You're like, "Why would you throw that?" It's like
It's-
double
yeah,
coverage.
there's
through
a time and place.
and he just thinks
for
he can do it. And like I respect
It's
that,
with
but like
him
brother,
and
like,
Mahomes and Burrow, like they have like 13, 12 interceptions. I'm like, we get it. Like y'all are the best quarterbacks, y'all are the top 3 quarterbacks in the league, but y'all do not have to throw those balls. I promise you, if you throw the ball to Devin Singletary, he can make something happen. He can get a first down. He's right there.
do you think Josh Allen knows Devin Singletary is on that team? Because I don't.
It depends on the week.
Because I think like Josh, when he hands it off, kind of blacks out and doesn't see the name on the back of the jersey. Because he's like, I could run that probably better. So he doesn't look.
I think Josh is in like he's young. He's like Brett Favre. He just reminds me of Brett Favre. Like
so
just
much.
incredible
Just an
talent.
athletic Brett Favre.
Yeah, just like incredible talent, but like tries to do everything. And that's I'm like, you can't, like you have to trust people. Granted, our receivers don't give him any reason to trust them, but like
Which is wild because it's a good receiving core, but like, boy, are they inconsistent. What's going on there?
yeah, dude, we're trying to figure that out. Like,
I don't know.
we're gonna
Had
talk
to
it over
re-sign
some
Cole
wins.
Beasley. Ugh. I got that notification. I was like sick. Like, ugh.
It's because Isaiah McKenzie's supposed to be our slot guy,
He sucks.
and
He's
he's
horrible.
exactly.
He's
So at
actually
least, like,
terrible. It's like a
at
bad
least-
football player.
Cole Beasley's good at finding soft spots, and that's what Josh had for 2 years. Just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Instead of having to throw this ball 80 yards down the field, there's a guy in a soft spot. I'm gonna throw it to him.
You know what? You guys want to hear a really gross statistic that you're not gonna like, but you're gonna deal with? Cole
Just-
Beasley in the last 3 seasons. Keep in mind he was retired for 80% of this season, and then he had the COVID stuff where he couldn't play because he wouldn't get a vaccine. Has played more football games than Michael Thomas. It's stupid.
Yes.
Man's
Swag
a-
out, baby.
That man's had turf toe for a full season. He didn't. He got surgery. Whatever. I don't care. Play some football. Play some football.
He didn't need.
Play some
Dude,
football.
You literally just missed 2 years of playing football. Why are you getting surgery now? Finish out the year. Get it.
The wildest thing is Buddy from the Commanders gets shot.
I love that
back
that's the
quick.
comparison, but like
Comes back quicker than you hurting your toe. And I get it. You need your toe
you need your toe.
balance,
I get it.
ability,
I
walk.
get it.
But 2 shots to the leg.
He got shot.
He's a running back. He's a power
got
running back.
shot
He's not a speed guy.
twice.
He's a power guy. He has to
And then-
bust through tackles.
And then comes out to many men. That is the greatest entrance of all time.
So it's like, brother.
Like, you just don't want to play football, and that's okay.
No,
though.
you're allowed to not want to play football. Just retire like Andrew Luck. I almost said
Yeah, like,
Andrew
it's-
Thomas. That's not the guy. Andrew Luck.
Yeah, you had what, 3 amazing seasons where you were just like unstoppable, and that's great. But you're not getting back to that point because you can't play.
I mean, maybe he could. I don't know. Maybe he saw it was Andy Dalton all year. He was like, I'm good. I don't know.
And you know, I'm okay with that.
I don't blame him. If that's
I'm
No,
okay with
no,
that.
no. Because
I
if
don't
you
blame
see
him.
it's Andy Dalton, you go to your head coach. You be like, "Hey, man, why is it Andy? We got Jameis right here. He's healthy. Put Jameis in." Because they just refuse to play Jameis.
I don't understand.
Which
But-
is weird. I don't get it.
But he got hurt and lost his starting spot to Andy Dalton, who's not doing anything.
Who's
well.
been bad? Who's been? It's not like he's been like making the righting the ship and making it good like a Ryan Fitzpatrick has.
Yeah,
remember,
it's like
remember every time Ryan Fitzpatrick would like come in and he would play really well, and it was like, damn, like our starter's back. We have to bench Fitzpatrick, but like we don't want to. And then you bench him, and then he comes back because the starter gets hurt again, and now he's not as good because he hasn't played. And it's like, well, who would have thought?
Yeah. Fitz magic, baby. Miss him.
and with Andy, it's like they're going with the name of the vet, and it's like, all right, cool.
He
but he's
wasn't even
not
that good when he started.
He's not even that good. So it's
He's,
like
he's like the
he has
most
not been good
mediocre
since
quarterback of
2015.
all time.
2015 was the last time he did
Like he was
anything relevant.
fine as a Bengal, I guess. Like Bengals
Couldn't
fans
win a
probably don't
playoff
hate
game.
him. They couldn't win a playoff game. I don't think that was him. That was a very head coaching issue. But
Yeah.
like if you had to bring Jameis back halfway through the year, and he goes 15-15 with the whole 30 for 30 with tutties and interceptions, you're happy with that. You deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than having
You're-
Andy
you're
Dalton.
not. Exactly.
Like, Jameis can get the ball down the field. Like, he can move the ball. He's going to
See-
make a lot of mistakes. That's what he does.
we're slandering him right now. Like they didn't just beat the best team in the NFL this season, though.
They were on a
Saints-
bye. And, don't-
Oh,
Who was on a
the-
bye?
The Eagles?
they're on a 2-week bye. I don't
No,
care.
that's a horrible take. If the Eagles lose next
think so.
week and the Cowboys
Well,
win,
now
the Eagles are a
because
three
they thought that they
No,
were
the
going to be able
4
to just
seed.
they thought they were going to be able to steamroll over the Saints without trying, but now
It's not a
Now
bye
they
week
got-
then. I said this last episode, Brooke. I said it. I said the Eagles need to go hard on this game and win it so that
Yeah.
next week could be an actual
Yeah.
essential 3-week bye where they can
Yeah.
chill, get the 1 seed, vibe out, lose, whatever. Then a real bye, then another week, and you play whoever
Whoever
it
you
would
play.
be.
Yeah.
Whoever
Who they
it would
playing?
be.
Who they play next week?
They
Oh,
play.
next
It's either
week-
the Giants or the Commanders. I don't remember. It's the Giants. I think it's
Oh,
the
and the
Giants.
Giants they can win that. I mean, they're locked in.
Neither
so
needs to. Neither needs to.
they don't need to win, but like,
Neither should want to win. Like it should be a rest week fully, like
Yeah,
completely.
like- but nah, they're gonna. Jalen Hurts said he's probably gonna play next week. So as long as he's
Cool.
doesn't take
and that's
a
the
hit
thing.
like
You don't try that hard this week, you lose. Now instead of giving him
Well,
another week, to
now
just
Jalen has to
rest.
come back where he could have
Yeah.
had those weeks off,
Yeah,
and that's.
like you take advantage of the Saints.
So I'm not saying it was a good idea to do
I'm
the
just
mystery
saying,
two bye week.
It was not great.
No, not at all.
And Gardner Minshew did not look great either. So that's actually like an important thing to note because if Jalen comes back and he's not fully healthy, Gardner was not looking good. I mean, you see 274, you're like, maybe he was okay. No, he didn't look great. Wasn't making some good throws and
They have film on him now. Like they know how he works in the offense, and then the Saints are always a good defense.
yeah.
Like they're always probably top 10. I would say.
Cam Jordan's still a dog.
Yeah, and they've got Tyron back there, so
Mm-hmm.
they're never a bad team on defense. So
No.
sucks for them. But hey, marked safe from here and fly. Eagles fly this week. That's nice.
It's true. We are safe. And they're 0-2 with Gardner. So all of a sudden the Eagles went from like maybe running the table to they might end up with 4 losses. But I mean, doesn't matter.
think-
Probably not. But
I think that locks in locks it in, but makes his MVP campaign a lot better.
It makes it better, but he also didn't play 2 games. He's not winning MVP without playing like 2
Yeah.
full games. Like,
Especially at the end of the season.
yeah, it doesn't.
So Patrick Mahomes MVP part 2 now.
Part 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that got locked in too because the Vikings this week. I feel like the Vikings like came out and they got a block punt. I don't know if you guys watched this game. They blocked a punt. They
Yeah.
didn't score on the 1. They got a field goal. Immediately give up a kick return, and I'm pretty sure they're like, okay, well, that's it. Game's over.
They threw a pick six right after that, I think.
Yeah, and the pick 6 was bad. I didn't get to watch a lot of it because this game I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
But I literally saw this sequence happen twice, where the Vikings were on offense. There was a probable defensive PI call for like a holding, whichever you wanted to call. Didn't get called. The next play was a pick. Happened twice, and one was the pick 6. And I was like, you're losing today. Like, and that's just
But it's
how it's
like-
gonna go.
It's just like it didn't really, unless you guys were you guys in the race
We-
for the 1 seed?
For the 1 seed, yeah, because the Eagles lost, if we won out and then they lost next week, we could have been a 1 seed. But I don't really know if they cared that much about it. Vikings are going to wind up being a 3 seed now because the 49ers are not losing to the Cardinals. So
No,
yeah.
not at all.
So
But,
they're
I
going to wind
mean-
up being a 3 seed, which I'm not upset about. The only reason I am is because now you got to go to San Francisco if you win week 1, which that sucks. But
But it's like Kirk Cousins isn't the guy that can, take a break and come back and still be effective. He has to be like on a roll. So like you guys need next week to get on a roll. Just
I
for
don't
him to
think he
play.
starts next week.
Kirk.
Yeah, I don't think he starts next week.
Who's your guys' backup?
Nick Mannion.
Who?
Or no. It's not Nick Mannion. It was Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins came into
Oh,
the game.
that boy said. I said Nick Mullins and Nico Mannion put together. I said, doesn't he
Well-
play basketball?
Well, I've always called Nick Mannion, or Nico Mannion, Nick, whatever.
Oh, okay.
There's a Mannion.
Yeah.
It's Sean Mannion was our backup for a while. It was for Oregon State.
Oh.
They both went to Oregon State, which is part of the issue. This is part of the issue. Pretty sure it was. Let me double check that real quick. It was Mullins. Yeah, Nick Mullins.
So
He'll probably start next week, just because Kirk had a career high in sacks this year. I think it was like 47 sacks he took.
Oh my god.
Y'all just lost the old lineman too, right? Your
We
center
lost
or
our
whatever?
center. The main reason that they actually got destroyed this game, I think they probably lose anyway, but they got destroyed this game because the center literally didn't know how to snap the ball.
And
Just
then
like
you
plays,
guys-
there was no rhythm to any plays because he couldn't snap it on time. It
And
was
then he got
crazy.
hurt too.
Well, the third string.
Oh, the third string.
The third
one.
string.
Okay.
Yeah, the third string. It was wild. I mean, nobody carries a third string center. You just move it over a backup left tackle over to center. You're like, hey, good
Yeah.
luck. Good luck.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah, so that'll probably be a rest week for them. They're not like super hurt, but they're hurt enough that whatever.
You want to take it easy.
It's also the Bears. The Bears are like gonna do everything in their power to lose, as they did this week. The Lions put up 41 of them because I think the Bears actually told their defense, if you guys let them punt, you are off the team next season. I'm convinced that was the game plan. Because there's no more obvious thing that I've ever seen than the Bears trying to throw and the Houston Texans trying to throw. The Jacksonville Jaguars were able to sit their players in the second quarter because they're beating the hell out of Houston so bad.
I'm surprised they actually even started them, to be honest, because that game didn't matter to them regardless.
Well, I think they wanted to win it because of what I mentioned earlier, where there is a roundabout way where they get in even if everybody
even if they
loses.
lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a way. So winning the game was important, just not like in control your own destiny important. So
Dude, you know what's crazy? There's 3 out of the last 4 weeks the Chiefs won the game against really bad teams by 3 points. And
The
that could have been
Texans almost beat them.
that could have been our bye.
yeah. You know, it's something I've said about the Vikings all year though. Hey, they got the win. Like you'll win a close game.
Yep.
Like, I'm not going to be mad at you for winning a close game when you're 12-3 with the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Like I'm not going to be mad about it.
I was cheering,
you
though.
think they're rolling out gadget plays? No, dude. I saw them in this game against the Broncos literally run the same running back bubble 3 times for a touchdown. or like not a bubble. It's like a half wheel where they just like, hey, Jarek, like fake up, do a wheel, catch the touchdown. 3 times.
Insane.
Like they didn't change anything. They flipped the play. You know in Madden where you like click right stick and it flips the play? It's just that.
Go do it on the left side now.
It was just that. It worked. It was like, oh, yeah, they're really not trying.
Dude,
They're really saving them.
back to the NFC real quick.
Okay.
The game on this Sunday between the Packers and the Lions.
Big
That's
game.
gonna be crazy.
It's a big game.
That's
It's an interesting game, too, because it's not a winner controls their destiny. It's a Packers control their destiny.
Yeah.
The Packers win, they're in. The Lions win, they need some help.
they need the Seahawks to lose.
They need the
whoever they play.
Seahawks to lose. The Seahawks are playing the Rams.
Oh, so the Seahawks probably won't lose.
But is this like a Rams trying to create a rivalry issue? Like, are the Rams like, hey, let's go get this win?
Well, it's Baker. He's probably won another contract here, so he's like, I'm.
Everybody else might not be playing, but Baker will play. He'll
Yeah.
go hard. And so
Absolutely.
I
and
still
it might be
Seahawks are going to win
McVay's
this
last
game,
game too, though,
It might be
McVay
McVay's
might-
last name.
and Aaron Donald.
It's certainly Aaron Donald's last game. If he almost did it after a Super Bowl win,
Yeah,
he's got to do it after this. This year was
I hate that because you could have rode off into the sunset, then you try to come back. Oh, let's go win another one.
I mean, in theory,
now you got to
in
retire.
theory,
off
they
of,
could have won another one. This team got really injured really fast, and
like,
But you know that's the risk. You know that's the risk.
yeah, but
At any time you
play
start
your,
the season for football.
but you know how
know
rare it is to get a team that's even Super Bowl caliber. Like the Rams right
It's
now,
hard.
if healthy, are still a Super Bowl caliber team. They're
Mhm.
not healthy, and the way the season went, there was no like they didn't have that much adversity last year, so it was like they had adversity for the first time. They didn't react well to it, and now here they are, one of the worst teams in the league without a first round pick. That's tough.
without first round picks up.
They don't have like anything. They're
Like, I don't think like
Barren.
top 3 picks for like the next couple of years.
yeah, barren, and it was to make this roster. And granted, like, was it worth it? They won a Super Bowl, probably,
Yeah, it worked.
probably.
yeah.
Like you would like to
It
win
was-
multiple, but like that's kind of
It
the
was
risk
like
you
a-
take.
It was a minimum 1 year sacrifice. Max, like if you get lucky, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But they had to win the one. They did. It worked. They showed everyone, we can still win without your draft picks. Just get talented players.
That
The
was
people who
one
wanna
thing that
win
was
right
really
now.
cool about the way they did it. There's like 3 like starting players on that roster last year that were like drafted by them. Everything was free agency and trades. And it was like, that's cool that can work because that never works. Trades don't work in the NFL. When's the last time, like, outside of Von Miller, when's the last time outside of like an edge rusher or like D lineman that like a trade really worked? I guess the McCaffrey trade is working pretty well. But like,
The Diggs, Jefferson. Well, what ended up being Jefferson? That
Yeah.
worked.
that definitely
both.
worked.
But
Like
Russell
mid-season wide receivers,
trash.
like those don't work.
Bradley Chubb hasn't really done much ever since he's
It's
been there. They've
horrible.
lost, like 5 or 6 games.
Minka Fitzpatrick worked. That was really good.
Yeah.
That was a really good trade. That was a very
Other than
very
that,
good trade.
like trades are usually they're a wash. People don't do them.
yeah, trades don't happen in this league because like schemes
It's
and
tough for somebody
environments
to-
and it's so
Yeah, it's
much
tough.
it's so much to adjust.
It's easier in the
Mid-season.
NBA. NBA.
I mean,
you
the
can-
NBA is
you
just go
play,
ball.
You come in and ball.
Just go
Yeah.
ball.
like the first game didn't work out. Oh, we play again in 2 days. We're all right. Like you'll figure it out.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
also
the
like
chemistry is going to
how many
build
times
itself
have you
up when
gone
you're
to the
straight.
YMCA or wherever and just played with random guys and mid-game you're building a chemistry? Like it happens
Yeah.
immediately because like there's a constant between the 5 guys on the court. So
Yeah. Oh well.
and in baseball that doesn't matter. Like you just go out.
Yeah,
there
you
and
could
play.
throw a guy in and
Go out
he'll
there
hit
and
4
play.
home runs the next game and say, "Oh, that trade went great." Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, he just has to, he has to do what he was doing on the other team. The exact
yeah,
exact
like
thing.
Yeah,
there's nothing
just-
different.
yeah,
Oh, you got a new catcher or a pitcher? Maybe they gotta learn the signs.
I think
Oh,
that yeah,
okay.
catchers and pitchers are difficult.
different.
Certainly.
Oh, you got to learn. a new
But
shift
even
now.
even that, like they got time to work it out. Even after that, okay, we played horrible that game.
Yeah, let's go
All
throw
right,
a
we got
bullpen.
4
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 days to figure this out.
Yeah.
So you can make it work. Football,
Yeah.
it's
It's
tough.
It is definitely
Very
tough.
tough.
So
That's why if it's trade, I feel like it has to be in the off season. I don't like mid
yeah,
trade.
you need time
No,
to
mid,
do it.
yeah.
Which again is kind of weird because like the trades don't work out, but then like practice squad players. You ever see like the practice squad guys like get moved around and it works out right away? It's like, huh, that's pretty cool. It's because like they had nothing else to do. They didn't even know the other team's like playbook. Like they were just kind of there.
Bro, so we had a practice guy squad. His name was Isaiah Hodgins, and now he's like the best receiver.
He's
on the
balling
Giants.
on the Giants. He's balling on the Giants. He's doing really well over there. And again, environment, opportunity. If he played for the Bills, he probably would have sucked. Why? Not because he's not good, but because like, are you gonna throw it to him over Diggs or Gabe Davis? Probably not.
Or Dawson, you're not.
And he might be better than Gabe Davis. I don't think Gabe Davis is any good at all. I've been saying this for years, but like,
Gabe Davis broke my heart this year.
Yeah, he's kind of mid.
He's very mid. No, it's not. He's just mid.
He's kind of mid. Also, I know you guys have seen this, but like Devontae Smith's been doing really well lately. And it's the classic like receiver has like 5 great games, and it's like, is this guy a top 10 receiver? Is this guy a top 10 running back? Is this guy a top 10 quarterback? And it's like, how many top 10 receivers are there?
Like 20 of them.
Holy
20 top 10 receivers.
There's so many. Like I was looking at something. There's so many good receivers this year.
There's so many good receivers, and just in general, like there's some guys having like quote unquote bad years. Like this guy, he was having a not great year. Mike Evans before yesterday's game, he was having a very like kind of quiet. That was a lot of the offense and all that. Then he comes out, has 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. You're like, oh.
Everyone's like, oh, Mike Evans is still here. He still plays football.
He's
like,
great still. Yeah. I was like, oh.
He's still on the field.
Like Chris Godwin's been pretty not great this year. I mean, he's been okay whenever he's on the field. And it's like, he's still somewhere in the mix. And
he's fallen out recently.
Yeah, like Devontae's not better than like the guys you know he's not better than, right? Like JJ, Chase, Hopkins, Adams.
Yeah, Diggs, McLaurin. He's not.
There becomes there's that second tier then, right? Where it's like the AJ Brown, McLaurin, homeboy from Dallas,
CD.
Yeah, CD Lamb.
McLaurin could be a top 10 wide receiver if he was on a good team. Though.
I think he is a top 10 wide receiver anyway, or like right there. He's
no, like bona fide.
Yeah. He's somewhere between like 8 and 15 right now, depending on what shit.
Can we talk about the bona fide scrub in Carson Wentz that just?
I don't get that. I don't get that move at all.
They threw their playoff hopes just to the bench. Gave Carson Wentz the keys.
But for why?
Bro.
Like Ron Rivera just lost his job. Like he lost his job.
I mean, he's not a good coach anyway. He shouldn't have a job.
No.
Ron Rivera has never been a good NFL coach. I want that to be out there. He has never been a good one. I don't care what the record of that Panthers team was. He has never been a good NFL coach. And it's perfectly like encapsulated in their Super Bowl, like when they went and they got the booty clappers because that man doesn't know how to prepare because he's not a good coach.
Insane. Like it didn't make any sense. Like you're still in the playoff hunt. Taylor Heineke's been playing pretty well. Maybe not pretty well, but he's been playing well enough to get you where you have to be. And you're like, you know what? Let's throw in Carson Wentz. He screwed us our first half of the season, but he got hurt. He came back. He'll be better. He'll be better this time.
But Heineke is a dog, even though like he's not the greatest QB there is. Like he's a dog, and the locker room likes him.
There's something about like because he really wants to win. There's never been a time, and I think Carson Wentz is a great dude and all that, and we've slandered him on this before, but I've never felt watching Carson Wentz where I'm like, damn, that guy wants to win this game. Like, I've never felt that. And I mean, maybe it's because it's football and like I'm not seeing his emotions. I don't know the guy, but like I've never watched him play and he like puts that helmet on, stares into the camera, and is like, let's go. Like he doesn't do that.
Yeah, you just saw what he did in Indianapolis. Like he ruined their playoff chances last year because he lost to the Jags, and now he comes over to Washington and he does the exact. Granted, it wasn't the last game of the season, but he did the exact same thing.
More or less the same thing because they're out now. Yeah. Or they're not out, but they're pretty much out.
They needed more stuff to happen for them to make it anyways, but now your chances is legit 0 now.
Yeah. He just simply don't got that dog in him. He's just a decently talented QB that just comes to the huddle, calls the play, might execute the play, might not. That's it. He's not getting his team wrought up. He's not leading them to nothing. He's not doing nothing. I don't get no type of vibe from him. He just goes in.
Got his talent. He's just terrible decision making. He does not know how to be a quarterback. He has talent to be a quarterback.
Even if you're talented, like if you're just out, especially being a quarterback, like you're just out there not like getting your guys hyped up to rally behind you. Like,
Well,
even look at Tom. Tom Brady's probably one of the most vocal guys out there. Like, no matter what anybody says about him, he's always going to be the one that's in your face, getting his team hype.
Yeah.
And that's what you need out of your guy, especially with Heineke.
I don't even agree that you need it that way. Like, you don't need it that way. I don't think you need a guy who's like, let's go get it.
You could be on the soft-spoken side of that, but you still need to have that,
like, let's go get a win.
That presence for people to follow you.
Yeah.
Like Justin Herbert's a very quiet guy. He's very soft-spoken.
Yeah.
He's not like all.
And and if there's a list of guys and you're like, hey, do you want him to like lead you down a game-winning drive? I'm saying yes to him. Like, that's just what it is.
Herbert?
Even, even though he's not like yelling at my ear, like I'm saying yes. I would never say that about Carson. So
yeah, no, there's not once.
I don't know. It was a really weird decision. Losing to the Browns is horrible. They're not a good team. There might be a weird world where the Browns could get into the playoffs. I don't actually think so.
I don't think. No, they're out.
Let's click some buttons.
No, I actually did that. No, I did that earlier, and I had them winning, and they don't make it. So they don't.
Yeah,
they can't.
They're out.
They can't. Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they're done. So weird that they're even like in that conversation. Shout out to the formerly known as R words for letting the other R word QB beat them. Like, just bad on bad, embarrassing. Yeah. Press one sucks. The only good thing he did in this game, I don't know if you guys saw it, it was actually a nice play. I was like, oh, that was impressive. It was a goal line, 4th and goal or 3rd and goal, and they were trying to get the touchdown, obviously. And they call it QB sneak, and like he gets the ball and like launches with like full extendo arm, like MJ in Space Jam. And I was like, that was kind of creative. Nice.
Ooh,
and then
Deshaun?
it was Carson. And then after that,
Carson.
I was like, yeah, that was all you had. It was a 22-yard drive. It took them 22 plays, not yards, 22 play drive to score 7 points. That was the only time they did it.
If you could do that and control a game, that's lit. But they're probably losing when that happened too. So
They took the lead with that, actually. The
other
last
day.
time they scored.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how bad Tua is?
No, he didn't play. That's not
I know.
fair. That's not fair.
No, but he
No.
played the last. All the Dolphins fans. All the Dolphins fans.
No,
I haven't been on since that's happened.
Bro.
We actually
We went after him last week. Nah, bro. That man can't even like see straight right now.
That's okay. Well,
wait until the offseason. Wait until the
offseason. I want to see
offseason.
Two of me.
Oh, that's crazy.
Two of me.
2 demons.
2 demons.
2 wolves inside.
On his head.
Oh,
because
no.
I'm so sick because I was not here since week 3. And don't think I forgot. And people
all right, G. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Go.
Yours.
I told y'all from day 1, 2 is not good. It happens when you have the 2 fastest receivers in the freaking NFL. I can go and throw 10 yards to Tyreek Hill, and he can go run for 90. It's not that hard. So when you learn defense and you get film, like I said earlier, once you get film on someone who can't throw 20 yards, it's game over. 2 is not good. You'll get a go draft a quarterback next year. I'm telling you, because next year is going to be the same exact thing. I'm done. Keep the 3 seconds. I don't want it.
I hated that take, but like I hear you. There's passion behind it. I don't like the take. I think he's fine. He's better than Jimmy G.
No, he's not.
Oh, brother.
No, he's not.
Oh, brother. Jimmy G's never done anything impressive besides just win games.
And
He's never done a
Tua
single.
doesn't do
Granted,
anything
they've lost
impressive.
games, and granted, they lost games. He's made some good throws. I've never like watched the film and be like, damn, look at that dot from Jimmy G. I've never said that.
But you know what you haven't seen? You know what you haven't said? Damn, Jimmy G lost 5 straight games.
He's never done it. Never will.
You've never.
He's
never
literally
said
never going to do it in his career unless he goes to the Jets next year. Then maybe he will. I don't know.
saying.
He's played for the best 2 organizations over the past 2 decades. So like that's also not fair.
No.
That's not fair.
I can throw wide open Tyreek Hill. My arm is. I had surgery on my
Nah,
pec,
bro.
by the way.
I'm not here to slander Tua this week. We'll leave him alone. That boy's hurt, bro. The Dolphins are also significantly worse without him. Is that more of an indication of the backups they have? Probably. Teddy Bridgewater is like actually horrible. That's
I'm not talking about this last week. This last game.
I know.
don't really
I
care.
know.
I'm talking about the other 4.
I know. I understand.
To lock in a playoff spot, you can't do it.
They just needed one win.
Now you're
So-
praying that you can go beat the Jets.
Yeah. So speaking of locking up playoff spots, I see there's a scenario for the freaking Ravens to get the 3 seed and the Bengals to get the 6.
They got to lose both of them, right? The Bengals.
If they lose both games,
Well,
they're the
they
6th
play the
seed,
Ravens
and
the last week of the year, yeah.
yeah. And then the Raven,
Oh.
if the Ravens beat them, the Ravens are the
So that's-
division winners.
Yeah, that's not even that like far fetched.
No,
No.
I mean,
That can very well happen.
Yeah, that's not even
Yeah.
that far fetched.
Especially if Lamar
So-
plays.
Wait, so then what winds up happening with that? So we're saying that the Bills beat the Bengals this week. So if the
Mhm.
Bills beat the Bengals, so then what winds up? Oh, there's some debauchery. We could end up. I have my clicks all weird right now. We could end up with a Cincinnati,
yeah.
Tennessee 5-4.
oh my god, yeah, I
Yeah.
got all mine
Yeah,
laid
this
out
is a
right now.
mess
My
right now.
NFC is wild.
A
My
mess right now.
NFC is the 49ers as the 1 seed, Dallas as the 2, Minnesota, Tampa, and then Philly at the 5.
Oh yeah, because if Philly loses and Dallas wins,
Oh,
yeah, then
yeah.
yeah.
And then I got Seattle at the 7.
All right, I have a question. For this is mainly for Jew. Sorry, because you're not in the playoffs, Brooke. Can't ask you. What do you?
I'll be back. Y'all don't need me.
Hey,
I'll be back.
oh, we'll see you next fall, big fella.
Yeah, I did not mean it like that, but see you in September. Anyways, what is your ideal picture for the Vikings to get to Super Bowl? How do you want things to play out?
I actually
who do you
think
wanna play?
I think it's the way it is right now. I think it's the Vikings are going to be the 3 seed. That's just
Yeah.
how it's going to be. That's what I want. I mean, I would love to have some home field. So the 2 seed would have been nice. But the problem with the 2 seed is you get a really hot Lions or Packers, which I don't want because division teams. I don't want that. Get that out of my face.
Yeah.
Or you get the Seahawks, and that's probably the best pick. But the Vikings, I think, are 0-5 lifetime against the Seahawks in the playoffs. I'm good. I'm good.
I'll pass.
So right now we get the Giants. The Giants played us super tough. Daniel Jones is playing really well. That team's clicking right now, and maybe that's going to be a tougher game than I think. And I think it very well could be, but that's the worst team in the NFC playoffs. And I think that's objective. They still could win a game, but I think they're the worst team in the NFC playoffs. Then you wind up playing the higher of the seeds that advance. So my dream scenario is the Packers win the 7th game versus San Francisco, where the Lions win that, and the Bucks beat the Cowboys, and now I get to go see. No, it's not going to be that way. It would be in Minnesota. Damn, it would be Vikings Bucks, and I think the Vikings beat the hell out of the Bucks. I think they beat the hell out of the Bucks.
Yeah, I think everyone beats.
So, that's how I
Bucks in the
feel.
playoffs.
I don't actually fully agree with that. I think the run first teams don't do well. I think the Packers would actually struggle against the Bucks.
Yeah,
And I think
Yeah.
the Seahawks would struggle against the Bucks a lot because you're not
Just 'cause
running the ball
there's-
against them. You're not
No,
running the ball
but
against
there's-
them.
so you're hoping Geno Smith can go and
Yeah.
ball out
Yeah.
and beat Tom Brady.
And I think the
won't
issue
happen.
is Brady will play well in the playoffs. It's just Brady in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But,
It's just that's how he did. Well,
Just-
not necessarily, because the year they won the Super Bowl, he looked like.
he looked great in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
To be
He
fair,
was-
in those games going up to that too, his best receiver was Antonio Brown, and he wasn't even that good. Godwin
had
was
Mike,
hurt
though.
and Mike Evans was hurt. They were hurt for the first 2 games.
They didn't play
Mike Evans played, but he was there.
a fraction.
Yeah,
So just
he
kinda-
wasn't. Yeah. It was
yeah, I
it was,
think the biggest threats to the Bucks in the playoffs is probably the 49ers, Vikings, and Eagles.
yeah, it's the throwing teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a good quarterback.
Yeah, it's
And
the
a good
teams
wide
with
receiver.
explosive it's those it's those guys. So, I
I don't
mean,
think
Dallas
they'd
is
beat
maybe
them.
there. I think that Dallas matchup is actually really, really good. I think that's a really fun game because Dallas wants to run the ball, and Tony Pollard might be the right guy to beat the Bucks defense in terms of running because he's so shifty and he doesn't need to go through the tackles. And then if Dak plays well, then he could air it out, but you never know what you're gonna get. It's kind of the same thing with Kirk. I've said Dak and Kirk are the same player for 4 years now. I still think that they're the same player.
Well, Dak can't. He still can't beat the Bucks. He's lost 3 games in a row against them.
I mean,
But
just
they
do.
were all last minute games. It's not like it was ever. I mean, the whole game. Obviously you can win it at certain points, but Bucks game-winning drives are not something you can control when Tom Brady's on the other side. Like that's just tough, you know.
Yeah, I guess he broke his hand last time too.
Yeah, so there's other circumstances, and Dallas is playing good ball this year, and they have a good defense too. So I could see that being like a 13-4, 3 game. Like I could just see it being that way, and Dallas wins it, and it's like, yeah, they look real good, and they look scary now all of a sudden. So it's one of those. But that's how I feel. I think Vikings, the way they are now, get the Giants, get the Bucks. If the 49ers can lose that first game, I will be giddy. I will be elated.
Yeah.
That's my ideal.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's not like it's impossible.
No,
my
my
ideal one is inversely impossible. Like it won't happen. Okay. Like we'll get to the Super Bowl, but like the way I want it to happen, it won't happen.
You just want the big dogs to lose, I imagine.
I want them to take each other out first. Yeah. Well, I want them one of them to get taken out, and then they just lose. So like, I don't even know, dude. Like I really don't know because I just don't want to see any of them to the AFC Championship.
Well, then you know what you need to do then is just get the 1 seed.
We have to get the 1 seed.
If you get the 1 seed, you can avoid this, right? You can get them. If you get the 1 seed, you get one of them. If you get the other, you get 2, and that's not fun.
Yeah,
and the two is crazy because it's not just Burrow or Mahomes, but like I want to throw Lamar in there too, or like even Herbert. Like you're literally dealing with the 5 best quarterbacks in the league over there.
Yeah.
So 6 if you include Jackson. Well, he's not really.
I'm a Jags fan. I'm gonna take a Jags. I'm a Jags fan. I'm going to be a
big Jags guys.
I hope New England makes it. Oh, New England makes it.
I mean, whoever that 7 seed is trash. Unless it's the Jags.
Yeah. Actually,
that's the best of them.
We're Pittsburgh fans. Yeah, actually, no, I don't want to be a Pittsburgh fan because they can't beat the Chiefs. The Patriots.
That's disgusting.
All right, let me say your best. This is what you want, all right? And this is if you're not the 1 seed. If you're the 2 seed, you want the Patriots to beat a 7 because the Patriots are not beating you guys. It's just not going to happen. The Steelers' defense is a little too good for my comfort. I don't like it.
But it's the offense. We don't need to score that many points to beat them because our defense this year is absolutely incredible, even without Vaughn.
I agree, but if this turns into a 16-13 game, I don't like it.
If it's a 16-13, I don't
like it. That's all I'm saying. I don't think there's a possibility for the Patriots. So give me the Patriots against the Bills, and then you would be the 2 seed, right? So you'd play the higher of the next one. So let's just say, for example, the Bengals win. Right, you're gonna get the Bengals, or realistically, you want the Bengals to lose
to like the Ravens or something, or
whoever that 6 seed is.
I'd rather see Lamar. I don't want to see Herbert. I don't think I want to see him.
Really?
I don't want to see Herbert. I don't.
I feel like the Chargers are so injured that you have to take advantage of that.
But they're all coming back. That's the thing. They're all coming back. They're all healthy now. And I'm like, do I want to see Eckler?
Bosa's back. But I've been saying this for forever that, like, as long as it's not like, Lamar, Bosa's not as effective. He gets a little extra motivation.
He sees dark skin.
He hates running quarterbacks, bro. Like, whenever he plays a running quarterback, he, like, drills them.
Yeah, well, Josh is a running quarterback.
Not that game. He stayed in the pocket, big fella. He stayed in the pocket, my boy.
He's just double team the edge all game long.
Please.
If you have to pick between Khalil Mack or Bosa, I think I'm taking Khalil.
That's just the worst take ever. Khalil Mack will like ruin your career. He hits way harder.
Bosa.
He just hits way harder. Khalil Mack is like scary. Here's the scene. Here's the scene. Khalil Mack, you start the game, or like they're about to go on defense. He just did a whiff of smelling salts. That dude can't see straight. He is geeked up on smelling salts, ready to clobber. It's the playoffs. He doesn't care. He's doing 12 whiffs a game. I don't care.
12 whiffs a game. So yeah,
he might pass out.
I think it's worst. I think our best case scenario is just not having to play Mahomes and
not playing both. Burrow. Yeah, if you can get away with not playing both, you're good.
I think
not good, but better.
We could beat either one of them. Just if we have to play both of them,
both is tough. Yeah, both. You're asking a lot out of a lot of guys.
You're asking a lot out of Josh Allen.
Yeah, which it's the weirdest thing in the world because again, the AFC has like those top, we'll say 8 quarterbacks, however many of them you want to put in there.
Yeah.
And wherever you want to put them in that list. And then the NFC is just a bunch of like top to bottom, pretty talented and well coached teams.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because they're way better coached over there outside of Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I still think the
Dogs.
Bengals have the
Fair.
worst head coach of every elite team in the league. I don't think that's like a hot take either. I think their coaching is like pretty bad. Like every game they lose is because of coaching.
Worse than McCarthy? I don't like McCarthy.
Who said Dallas was elite?
I mean, they might get the 1 seed. I feel like you have to put them in there now.
No.
He said, we do not care.
Yeah, we do not care. Absolutely not. But yeah, McCarthy, Zach Taylor and McCarthy are like 1A, 1B. And
okay. Staley's not elite. So okay.
no, Staley's the
Exactly.
worst. I wish the
I got
Chargers
you.
didn't make the playoffs. That dude needs to be fired yesterday.
Well, he won't be fired now. so-
No.
Hey, he's got a
Holy.
home.
He's
He's got
so
a home
bad.
there now.
Yeah, he finished off that mortgage. Unlucky.
But like I said, I think I'd rather see Lamar Jackson because John Harbaugh's going to screw him over too.
Yeah. Harbaugh's past his prime.
Because guess what? It's gonna be 4th and 5, and they can kick a field goal. Like, nah, run it, and be like, bet, run it, try it.
Hey,
Like-
at least John's won stuff in his career where his brother like can't. It took his brother 8 years to beat Ohio State, and then they get to the college football playoff and lose both times. Pretty sad.
To a guy named Max. How does that feel?
What?
We got beef. We got beef.
We
with
got beef
Max?
with a name Max? That's such a normal name.
I do.
What?
There's a guy.
What Max do to you?
There's a guy that I just from work that I don't like. His name is Max. Max
Duggan
I'm
kind
not-
of goes hard, bro. That's a good
I'm
name.
not gonna say it on the screen because
You already did. You gave us all
No,
the
no,
context.
no.
Yeah,
no,
you said from work and everything.
What?
But I'm saying Max is a. So, but I'm not gonna say the word. What he is. He just is.
Okay. Yo, that man's
Y'all
spitting
re-
right now.
Read between the lines.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, could you imagine losing to Max? I couldn't.
I wouldn't care. I just wouldn't care. He was second
I
place
got
in the
no-
Heisman. I got no beef.
Was he second?
Yeah, he got second.
Hmm.
He did get second.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. He had a great year. Dude, TCU
it's
was
a-
not ranked before the season. Now they're in the national championship.
If his name was Troy or something, he might have won it just because his name was Max. But
If his name was Caleb, he did win
would
it.
have
In
Caleb
fact,
won it.
yeah, Caleb did win it.
And Caleb's not a junior, is he? He's a sophomore.
He's staying one more year, yeah. He got one more season. But we saw with Bryce Young where the repeat's not going to happen, apparently. Well, also, Bryce Young last year was like the lamest Heisman ever. Not that he's lame. I think he's great, and he's going to probably go 1 overall. But, like, they gave him the Heisman, and I was like, yeah, probably. Like, yeah, I guess.
sure.
Like, they lost 1 game, so, like, sure, I guess. Whatever. At least Caleb was like, oh, yeah, this dude, like, balled out.
Yeah.
No, it was nice. It was good to see. When is that game happening? TCU, Georgia. I think it's next Monday.
Monday. I'll be on a cruise watching that. So
Ooh.
what?
No.
International water. Make sure you get your bets in.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna get the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna get the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, because international, you can bet. Get that money.
That's right.
That's what I'm
I was gonna the cruise ship. Oh, the
Mhm.
casino.
Real money. Mm-hmm. In person.
Casino.
Hey, scary
In
money
person.
don't make no money.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out J. Cole.
Yes, sir.
Need that.
Was that his line?
No, he didn't.
Meek Mill said that.
But there's a lot of people who said that though.
Yeah, I don't know where it originated from.
I'm thinking the Meek Mill line.
I was thinking of J. Cole one. Because he has a.
So they all got the same ghostwriter. That's crazy.
And G, I know which song you're talking about with J. Cole, but I think that was Moneybag that said that.
Moneybag did say that. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
as I'm singing. it in my
Moneybag
head, I was
spitting?
like, Moneybag.
Moneybag hard.
Moneybag
Moneybag hard.
spitting? I don't know,
Moneybag
bro.
hard.
If your last name is Yo and your suited, like your fake name,
That's his
like,
government.
It could have. Imagine if his real name was Yo.
Hey, Moneybag Yo or 2 Chainz.
We did this the other day with 2 Chains.
We
did
didn't do the
this-
verses though.
We need to do the verses.
We gotta go bar for bar.
I mean,
We gotta
2
go
Chains.
bar
No,
for
no.
bar.
2 Chains is winning the verses, but in like the bars, It depends who you're asking, because those 2 Chainz bars that we think are great are also pretty not great. They're pretty bad at the same time. I wish you would like a kitchen cabinet. It's not great. It's
He
not
said,
great.
I pull a craft rabbit out of Craftmatic. I was like, he said, I am so high.
Addict.
I am so high like a addict. I was like,
I think this is a new series we need to start, and we got the receipts. You hear us talking about it. Instead of verses, we do bars. Just
Bars.
bars
go
of the
bar
day.
for bar.
Bars of the day.
And you just throw
go
them out
bar-
there, completely anonymous bars too. And if you know it, you know it.
If you don't, you don't.
And you just gotta, which is better. This sounds
Yeah.
great. I'll see you guys there.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll
I'm
see
here
you guys
for it.
there. All right, we'll get that cooking. In the meantime, we're gonna get out of here, guys. I appreciate you boys for coming in, getting this done. We'll be back next Monday. We'll, I guess, preview the national championship. Maybe we'll do it on Tuesday so we could talk about it. I feel like that might work better. We'll figure it out. We'll see. We'll keep you guys informed. And then make sure you follow us at Spectators Media on all of our socials: YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next week. Later, everybody.
See
Happy
you.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Mwah.